Hey everyone, this is Zain Merchant with another episode of the Revision Challenge. Today we'll go about with our new chapter, the second chapter for AS, that is Communication and Internet Technologies. And the topic for today is networks. Most networks used for businesses application are server based. In a server based network, a dedicated server provides for the administration of servers, users, security, and resources. There may be a single server which carries out all the tasks. The server is a computer which provides the administrative tools, resources, and services which are shared by all computers on the network. A client server model in which a client computer application will access various resources and services provided by a server. There are many types of servers, all named after the service they perform. For the most common network application required by the users, this will include the file server. All softwares and user data files could be stored on the server. Alternatively, the application software can be installed on the client. Then requests to the server are for data files only. Then we have controller software server. This server is used for the management of user accounts, IDs, and passwords. The client computer software will send a logon request to the server, which processes it and grants the request if the user ID and passwords are recognized. So, this is used for authentication for any website or any other software. Then we have email server. This server is used for sending, receiving, and storing emails. A sent email is sent to the server for processing and forwarding to the internet service provider. When the client computer requests receiving email, the email server sends the request to the server of the email provider. Then we have the print server. This server manages print's job from network client computers. So all the computers in a network can send their printing jobs to this print server, which is attached to a printer. Or nowadays, we already have printers that are capable of being a server. There are two more servers that are part of our syllabus, and these are database server and web server. So, database server is a server that manages database management systems. We'll talk about this database management system in later chapter, specifically chapter 8 of P1. So, this database server manages database and server. So, this is basically to run the SQL queries on the database. Then we have web server. A web server is a server that manages web pages available from a website. So a client can ask for any kind of website on the internet, and this specific server for that website will be able to send that web page to the client. The tasks done by a server are varied, but they all have the same thing in common. The client computer makes a request to the appropriate server that we have already discussed. This server then processes the request, and then the server packages the result in a form which is displayed by the client computer software. So if this is a web page, the client will receive a web page that can be displayed on the web browser, and it will vary from different types of tasks that the server goes about. So let's talk about the internet. The internet is a global communication infrastructure which links together computers and networks. It forms a collection of connected internets and is a packet switched network. All network traffic is made up of packets of data which with a source address and a destination address. There will be a large number of available paths for the transmission of any data packet. The communications method used are various, including wired, radio, satellite communications, etc. The internet is an open network. Access to it is provided by a company called an ISP, the Internet Service Provider. The internet protocol used is TCP/IP, where all devices which are connected to the internet are identified by an IP address. We'll talk about what IP address is later on. The internet is also a transit network that moves data. The internet allows anyone to access, retrieve, process, and store all manner of information, which could be voice, video, documents, images, etc., in a digital format. The World Wide Web consists of content organized as web pages made available across the internet from web servers. The World Wide Web was the invention of a computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee in 1989 and uses three key concepts: HTML, URI or URL, and HTTP. So HTML is basically the publishing format for all web content. It provides for formatting documents and links to other documents or resources. HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol is a protocol to allow for the retrieval of linked resources from across the World Wide Web. Then we have URI, which is Uniform Resource Identifier, which is a unique address for a resource on the World Wide Web. These are all used in our daily lives. The World Wide Web has changed the way we teach and learn, research information, buy and sell products, and communicate globally with others. The terms Internet and World Wide Web are loosely used and are often thought to be the same, but they are not the same. Hardwares to support the Internet. So, network, a local area network (LAN) or LAN, is made up of a set of computers which can communicate across the network. For example, a computer can communicate with a file server device, a print server, or a user using email. Network users will want to use the internet to access content available from the World Wide Web. So there are three major devices that we'll talk about that supports the internet. The first one is a router. A router is used on a packet switched network. Data is organized into packets for sending between the various devices. The common protocol used is TCP/IP that we have already discussed, and the routing packets is done by giving each packet a destination address. Gateways is Gateway is a hardware device need to allow two networks which are using different protocols to communicate. A network gateway can be implemented completely in software, completely in hardware, or as a combination of both. Using a network gateway by definition appears at the edge of a network. Related capabilities such as firewalls tend to be integrated with it. On home networks, a broadband router typically serves as the network gateway, providing access to the internet. And we have already talked about servers. So, a server is a device that provides services in a network. And we have already gone through different types of servers that we usually see in a network. Communication systems to support the internet. The public switch telephone network, or also known as PSTN, was designed for two-way voice communication. The concept was to create a dedicated line or circuit between two endpoints. Over time, the telephone network has grown to support more users and endpoints through a network of switches. Thus, the concept of circuit switching was born. This revolutionized voice communication and telephone network design, creating the PSTN architecture that is still in place today. This establish a system in which each usage of the network required a call setup stage, that's dialing the number for call to start, in which a connection or circuit was established between the two endpoints. So you just dial and you get connected, and then you communicate it through voice. Another communication system is dedicated lines. A business may prefer to use a communication line which is dedicated for use by its computers only. It will purchase a dedicated line from a telephone company under some leasing agreement. This contrasts with the shared resource of the PSTN and internet. Typical businesses uses include linking corporate offices to the internet, connecting the LANs of several corporate offices to form a wider area network or WAN that allows your offices to communicate and share IT resources. Dedicated lines have major advantages which impact on the application which are possible. So that is consistent data transfer speed, high and consistent bandwidth. The bandwidth available to most internet users drop at peak times when other customers of the same ISP are attempting to connect. And high data throughput and fast upload speeds. Dedicated lines offer major speed advantages when compared to broadband. A UK broadband or Pakistani broadband connection offers around of 100 Mbps downstream and 1 Mbps upstream. In contrast, a high capacity dedicated line can provide a connection speed of 1 to 10 Gbps for both upload and download. This enables a dedicated line to carry phone calls, allow lots of staff to connect simultaneously to other work computers from home, carry video transmission without buffering and signal degradation. The last communication system that we'll talk about is the cell phone networks. The name comes from the land mass being divided into areas called cells. Each cell is served by at least one transceiver or base station. The cells are usually hexagonal in shape, and the base station for each cell uses a different frequency range to that of any of its neighboring cells. The large capacity or using a cellular network is made possible because the same frequency can be used by multiple callers in a cell and can be used in any non adjacent cells. The most common usage of a cell network is a mobile phone network, which provides for communication from a portable mobile phone to the base station with radio waves. Since radio waves travel in a straight line and large land mass is divided into smaller cells where necessary to avoid a straight or to avoid a line of sight signal interruption. Radio waves have the longest wavelength and the lowest frequencies. The ability to focus a beam decreases with increasing wavelength. Radio waves broadcast in all directions and are least affected by obstacles. So, this ends our revision lecture for today, and this is part one of our topic networks. Tomorrow, we'll continue with the same topic networks and do some other subtopics that we have not done today. If you like the video, please like and share with your colleagues so they can use this as their revision material as well. Also, please subscribe to this channel because I will be posting more videos and solve past papers and also pre-release materials as well. So stay tuned and good luck. Hold up.